What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Diction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So today I want to talk about some additional changes that were made to the weaponry for Season 3. So a few days ago, I did go over the patch notes for Season 3, and it brought a lot of interesting changes, specifically for the LK24 and the QQ9. Those were probably the two weapons that were changed the most, but in such a significant way. It kind of looked like in Season 3 that we were heading into a crazy new meta, with the QQ9 being one of the top, if not the top SMG of the game, as well as the LK24 being an absolute monster. But they did revert some changes that I do need to discuss, specifically for multiplayer, and there are a few more changes for Battle Royale pertaining to the shotguns. So the adjustments that they did for the balance changes were as follows. So the LK24, they reverted the headshot as well as the upper arm shot multiplier buffs, and as for the upper chest multiplier buff, that actually remains unchanged. So you could actually still 3-shot so long as you hit in the upper chest. So previously, when I went over the patch notes a few days ago, the LK24, the buff was a lot more different than what was changed right now. So it was basically going to allow you, at least from like 25 meters, to 3-shot like all over the arms, as well as like the chest, like this fucking stomach, and even the headshot. I mean, like the headshot multiplier was going up to where the damage was like up to the 40s. And a lot of people were actually were excited about that, because the LK24, let's be honest, was never really meta for quite a while. Maybe it was in the earlier days, like maybe year 1, but the LK24 has never really been part of the meta, and I'm sure a lot of people were excited about that, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Of course, it did get a small buff now, but not the one that we were expecting. So as for the QQ9, the 10mm rounds, the headshot multiplier previously went from 1.2 times to 1.4 times, making the damage go up to like 40. But then they kind of reduced it down to 1.3 times, so it's not as high as it was before. But you are still capable to 3-shot. I already tested out in the test server. And yeah, as for the lower R multipliers, that one kind of got reverted back. It went from 1.1 to 1.2 previously, and now it's back at 1.1. So again, I did test these out when I first got the test server, and I did notice that the LK24 wasn't as strong as it should have been, as well as the QQ9. I did test both of those weapons, since those are like the two major changes. And yeah, I noticed that the damage wasn't as high as I thought it would be. So I guess they made the adjustments before they released the global test server, because they definitely weren't the way that they were supposed to be. And of course, it's not to say that the QQ9 10mm rounds are not viable in this type of state, but I think it's a lot more viable than it was before. And you're going to be able to 4-shot / 3-shot a little bit better. Of course, not as great as, we thought when the patch notes first came out. So as for the Battle Royale changes, I'm sure some of you guys might be concerned or not. I don't really know how often shotguns are used other than the HSO. So the by 15 damage per pellet changed from 25, 18, 16, 11 previously to 22, 20, 15, 7s. But it actually did get buffed within both, well, I guess the first two ranges as well as the final range. So that's pretty significant for the by 15. I guess they have something to use to compete against the HSO, just in case they can't find one on the ground or anything like that. Also for the KRM, they did some more adjustments. It actually did get nerfed within the first and second range, but then they kind of raised it up a little bit to kind of balance things out. So yeah, they just did some pretty minor adjustments. So at the end of the day, these patch notes are kind of for the best, especially when it comes to the multiplayer ones, because I mean, I know I was kind of excited for the LK24 finally being buffed to the point where it would have like at least some time to shine, alongside the 10mm rounds for the QQ9. But we could all admit that they were kind of excessive. I think it was going to be a little bit too much for other weapons to handle. And the QQ9 with the 10mm rounds, I've been kind of like practicing with it, and it is still pretty good. You get to like 4-shot people from longer ranges, but having that type of damage that we were going to get previously, it would have been a little bit too much for other SMGs to compete against. And I know the Switchblade and what's the other one, the CBR, are very formidable SMGs right now, but something like that would probably kind of knock them out of the water pretty fast. But if you really think about it, like the devs have kind of, I guess, gone through like this evolution where they kind of like know for a fact that like if they balance something too hard, Like they know they have to change it right away before it becomes a problem. And I'm happy that they're finally taking these steps, because before they wouldn't have even cared. They would have just let that weapon run rampant for like a few months. But now it's like they want to make sure that every weapon is perfectly balanced. So I'm just grateful that they did that. But anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for some more COD Mobile content. I'll see you guys next time.